What's good, everyone? Magic Arena's Edge of Eternities and new rotation is en route, so we built this upgraded Azorius Artifact deck to rank up fast. This ended up being ridiculously powerful. The artifact deck controls the game so hard, and we threw in a bit of spice that was missing from this deck all along.
They all deceive you! They only want to get to the spice melange!
Oh god, not again.
I'm talking about a card that takes care of threats before they even come into play, and can clone any of our beloved artifacts for that much needed aggro or removal. This new Azorius Artifact deck list is ready to handle any kind of threats out there with Edge of Eternities. The meta's gonna get rocked with the global removal spells that this deck can finally run. I'll demonstrate what I mean by winning multiple games in a row on standard best of ones in just a sec. So do consider subscribing to the channel for incredible deck lists and gameplays, and tap that like button for Magic the Gathering. Let's go! So off the bat, we'll see some differences compared to the pre-rotation Azorius Artifact deck. These are definitely welcome changes as it answers some of the harder questions that this deck would normally encounter in each game. A card we really don't see often in this deck is White Auracite. We run one for it to top up the deck perfectly with. The mana producing ability is really handy, especially when you clone it with something like 3 steps ahead. The non-land target this White Auracite removes gives us many options to target when it comes into play. On the next column, we run the core artifacts of this deck, which starts with 3 repurposing bays. We realized that running 4 was a bit overkill, as we rarely get the chance to pop these off more than a couple of times in each game, on average. Its main purpose is to build our combo engine or bring some spot removals into play. Then we have the very much required 4 Simulacrum synthesizers. This is what we use to win the game with. Its ability to create Godzilla-sized artifact creature tokens forces the concede button on your opponents all too frequently. Next, we have our 3 mana spot removal artifacts. One of my favorites in the format so far, we have 4 Perilous Snares. There's really no drawbacks for this artifact version of Oblivion Ring or Banishing Light. It's just coming from an artifact now. And the idea that artifacts are theoretically easier to remove, it is the reason why we get to have an extra ability on something like this. Such as, once we reach max speed, we get to put a +1/+1 counter on any creature we want. In a deck like this, the max speed ability is not overly useful, but I guess it's great to just be able to say that we can put counters on creatures like some of the other top tier decks out there. Then we have 2 Assimilation Aegis. Because running 3 or 4 of these is a bit too much in my opinion. For a 3 mana card that only targets creatures to exile is a bit low on the value scale. The equip and copy effect works as novelty at best, and is not really a reliable way to win. But as far as artifact spot removals go, this is a really good card. Just not sure if it's mythic rare worthy. And on the next column to the left, we run our 2 mana artifact cards, which are 4 clay-fired bricks. The land search ability ensures that we can cast our 3 mana artifact spells next turn, and the card itself is mostly used as livestock for our repurposing bay. And of course we carry 4 spring-loaded saw blades, because it deals a great amount of damage to any tapped creature for just 2 mana. The flash ability is just too good, and even if there's no target for this to hit, we can still repurpose it into a much more useful 3 mana artifact. Now, the last artifact that goes with this deck is actually quite powerful. We make sure to include one of the Enigma Jewels. It's almost like the Soul Ring of Standard, except it's only to activate artifact abilities with for its mana production ability. It's very good because for 1 mana to cast this artifact, it basically becomes free to activate the repurposing bay. And it works on any artifact that has the Craft with Artifact ability to help flip the card over much faster. We can also sacrifice this to eventually upgrade and continuously repurpose it into something like Simulacrum Synthesizer as well. For the second column to the left, we have all of our sorceries. This essentially has 4 global removal spells, and 2 of them are split up. I don't know how many times this 3 mana card has come in handy and come to my rescue by wiping the board clean. Seriously, you gotta run this. It's just really handy. We have 4 of these very essential United Battlefronts because it cheats a couple of our most important artifacts into play. This is a huge must-have sorcery in this deck because it accelerates us incredibly fast. And then we carry the other 2 global removal spells, which are Day of Judgment. We don't have to be afraid to lose our artifact creatures because we rebuild them super fast. Throwing out Day of Judgment anytime we are in doubt has won the game on many occasions more often than not. And on the last column, we have our only instant spells. We use 2 Into the Flood Maws, as this 1 mana spell can provide a lot of value to you by delaying the opponent and potentially using up their entire turns early in the matchup. because bouncing a creature that they've just tapped out for with our 1 mana card is a complete steal. And this last card, 3 steps ahead. I just can't say it enough, but the utility and synergy you get from this card is just insane. It works as either a really good 3 mana counterspell for that crucial control aspect, where you would likely protect your artifacts from a potential board wipe. And of course, drawing a couple of new cards to refresh your hand is always a plus. But what's really the most dangerous thing on this card that threatens your opponents is the copy effect. You can opt for a copy of something dangerous like your Simulacrum Synthesizer at instant speed. Imagine an instant speed Perilous Snare or White Auracite as well. Alright, I'll just show you what I mean, so time to go get some good draws and wins. Let's go. This is a very good starting hand. That United Battlefront is going to be clutch. I mean, we cast 4 mana, look at the top 7 cards, I've actually missed, like, everything. Not a single card, not a single artifact could I put in. Alright, let's start off with the plains here. We're good for lands. Technically, we're good for the entire game with the amount of lands in our hand right now. And we're going to fetch for another plains. And I like that we went first so we can cast our Repurposing Bay right away. And then next turn we can bring in our Synthesizer. Or actually, maybe we should just hit our United Front. That might be the better play. Alright, we'll take our only 2 options to come into play. Luckily our opponent casted something so that we can have a creature to actually exile right now. He probably should have waited for us to resolve everything first. Oh, look at that. We just drew another United Battlefront. Let's just make sure to actually bring in a Simulacrum Synthesizer this time. And I think we'll hold up 3 mana for 3 steps ahead. Just in case they cast something crazy, we can counterspell it. And looks like it's nothing. Okay. And that is fine for us because we can play a slower game. Alright, let's just bring in another Synthesizer so then we can cast our United Battlefront right after. This will make us a token. I think I really like the Perilous Snare at the top. We'll put the plains back down because we don't really need more lands right now. Basically got to play 7 this entire game. So we'll just throw out United Battlefront. This is actually really good. Although we don't have a target for our Perilous Snare, it doesn't really matter because we're going to make a ton of tokens right now. 5 11 11s. Oh, looks like our opponent's playing Dino Storm. Okay, they got their first Carnosaur. Oh, it looks like they got a Quintorius as well. Honestly, don't know what they're going to do against 5 of our Darksteel Colossus. Our artifact creature tokens, power and toughness wise, 11 11. And we got 5 of them. Even if they play their entire deck, I don't know what they can do against us. They're using Quintorius to kind of burn us as much as they can, but I don't think they're going to take another 20 health from us. Yeah, this Dino Storm is insane. As soon as they hit one of the combos or one of the cards that they can play, that's it. Either Breaching Dragon Storm or something to discover. Yeah, but I thought so. They had nothing. They can't really take care of 5 Darksteel Colossi. There's no way. 5 11 11s? That's a pretty good hand to go second with, I gotta say. A little bit of control. Actually, a lot of control. And that's a good repurposing bay. Alright, we can totally work with this. Looks like we're up against Gruul. Second turn Esper Origins is really good. I'm more afraid of its flashback ability though. But it looks like their deck's going to give us some time here. And we'll just hold on to the spring-loaded saw blades. If anything, we'll play it at the end of their turn. Or actually, we're probably going to return the Muera here. Trash Tactician. Yeah, into the Flood Maw. Back to the hand you go. We just wasted their third turn. Nice. That gives us time to cast our Repurposing Bay, actually. Now they have their fourth turn to do anything they want. Probably the Isper Origins. Yep. Honestly, I might just take it with my Assimilation Aegis. I don't want them to get to the second age, because they'll get 2 additional mana. And I'm not sure if they can throw down something big that I can't really deal with. I could hold up a counter spell, but I kind of want that to copy something, so Assimilation Aegis it is. Worst case scenario, we copy an Assimilation Aegis to remove a threat. Dragonhawk. Actually, that's not bad. Our spring-loaded Saw Blades can actually deal just enough damage to remove him. Yeah. A little tempted to use it right now. But let's just play an island. And pass our turn. We'll just hold up. They're playing a pretty interesting deck, actually. Yes, they took the bait and attacked. Spring-loaded Saw Blades it is. Perfect amount of 5 damage. They still get a trigger, though. Interesting. Here comes the Trash Tactician again. Should I counter it this time? You know what? We're going to let it resolve. It's not too scary right about now. And they cast Esper Origins. That's okay. I mean, unless they have a black mana, there's no possible way that they can kind of take it back from their graveyard, right? Alright, we'll take our turn. That's a good draw with the Simulacrum Synthesizer, actually. I mean, I still might want to bring one in. We'll sacrifice this, the Saw Blades. A little tempted to bring in the Snare. But let's just do the Synthesizer. Let's just overpower them with a big board. Yeah, that was a pretty handy 2 scry. I don't want any more land. And then we'll just play the Synthesizer from our hand. That's a good card to leave on top with Perilous Snare. And we'll just throw down our tapped Anchorage. We are doing solid. This is great. Next turn, I think I'll use 3 steps ahead to copy a Synthesizer and then use a Perilous Snare. That's going to give us a lot of tokens, and they're all going to be huge. The opponent's thinking pretty hard here. But our next turn is going to be pretty big. They had all that mana, and they casted Overlord. Honestly, they might have a 7 or 8 mana play in their hand. But I don't really want to wait to find out what it is. You know, just in case it's a really big threat next turn, I might actually just hold up the 3 steps ahead for a counterspell. So we'll just play it safe. Perilous Snare. We'll take up 1 thing. And we'll just create tokens this way. Swinging for 8. Never mind. The opponent scoops. I totally understand. It's a lot of pressure. Okay, going second. Seems like an okay hand. I'll keep 7. We're playing against Azorius as well. We'll fetch for that plains. I have a feeling they're playing counter spells, so I don't want to throw my Simulacrum Synthesizer down. Because if we get that countered, we're going to be in a pretty bad spot. So the only thing we can cast any blue spells with is our starting town. So we'll hit ourselves for 1. I definitely want the Enigma Jewel down. Nice. I have a feeling we are up against Azorius Control. So if that's the case, we'll just flash down our blades. Just to do a little quick check to see if they have a Spell Pierce. I'm not sure if they have a Spell Pierce. United Battlefront right now, or should I use Simulcrum? Probably the bigger play. United Battlefront. Let's go! Repurposing Bay is perfect. That's exactly kind of what we need. They cannot counter any more of our synthesizers coming in. And we have the Enigma Jewel right here. So it's going to be free to use the Repurposing Bay. Just like this. Here we go. What a great United Battlefront we had. Okay, maybe I want a blue mana from the top, actually. So we'll keep that. This is so good. That was actually a really good hit. Like, we could have just casted 1 Simulacrum synthesizer, but because we used United Battlefront, we got a bunch more artifacts in, plus our synthesizer. And we can finally use our Enigma Jewel. So unless our opponent has, like, global artifacts removal, I think we can run away with the game now. Yeah, they have, like, a bunch of kill all creature cards, I'm sure. So we'll be sure to not overdo it with a ton of creatures. We'll just have a couple on the board at all given times. So we'll sacrifice our first artifact. Let's bring in a second synthesizer. We'll make 1 creature, and we'll scry 2. Alright, spring-loaded Saw Blades is pretty good, because we can fetch for another artifact with that. And should I just cast this? I'm very sure they're going to counter it, but let's just make them waste 1. Yeah, of course they do. No matter. They'll have to deal with our 6/6 right now. This guy used like 3 stock ups in a row already. Wow. You can stock up on all your counter spells. Like right now, I can bring in another synthesizer. Like our last one. Maybe I should, just in case I draw it. Then I won't be able to play it without the worry of getting it countered. So yeah, let's just bring it in this way. Great. Alright, we'll keep another Repurposing Bay. Any 3 mana artifact cards is just going to keep popping off our synthesizers. We'll keep a few 3 mana plays in our hand. They take 8. So next turn is lethal for them. They have to take care of our board. They're probably going to wipe it clean right now. Like, guaranteed. Oh, temporary lockdown. That's just as good. There goes our Enigma Jewel, though. That's too bad. That's cool, I guess. Yeah, we'll just throw this down right now so that we can repurpose it on our turn. Too bad we can't get haste right now. So we'll just sacrifice that. We'll throw in a Perilous Snare and get our jewel back. There we go. And yeah, we will cast another Repurposing Bay. He's thinking about countering that, isn't he? He probably should. We're going to be in for the long one if they counter this and then somehow remove our board. He really just needs to counter our spell right now. Because he basically gets one more turn now after us. Yeah, this artifact deck is just so clutch. It has answers to pretty much everything in the format right now. And it's also a ton of fun to play. I think I really like this Azorius artifact deck. I like the Azorius colors in general, but when it comes to artifacts and control, where we get board presence and just to kind of have fun with the game the way we want, it's honestly really fun. It's demoralizing for our opponents though, right now. He's in the face of 6 13-13s. And nope, our opponent scoops. They rage quit. Good game? Next. I'm not sure if I like this hand. Low on the mana right now. A lot of creature control. A lot of board wipes. Actually, it's not too bad. I like the Enigma Jewel. I like starting with the Simulacrum Synthesizer. And we got a 3 mana removal spell just in case. Alright. If we draw the next land, then we're good. We'll have to start off with a tapped land, unfortunately. And we're definitely up against rabbits, so we technically only get about 4, 5, or 6 turns before we're basically dead. Alright, they're on their 3rd turn. I'm quite surprised they didn't cast anything on their 2nd turn. That's usually when the deck pops off quite a bit. Maybe they were just saving up? No idea. Did they just draw that Valley Quest Caller? Because they could have played it last turn. So luckily, the rabbit deck is going pretty slow right here, and it looks like they missed their 3rd land drop. We might actually be able to play a Simulacrum Synthesizer here, and then continue to build up. We could just throw down a Simulation Aegis to take the Quest Caller, but I think we should do it this way, because we can definitely use the Scry. And look at that, we scryed into a land. We'll keep that on top. That was perfect, because we had no use for the spring-loaded Saw Blades. Here's the Burrow Guard Mentor. Okay, we'll just be taking 4 damage. Very lucky it's not a lot more right now. And there's the Verge, and I think we'll just do a friendly board wipe. There we go. Now whatever he plays, we're just going to keep banishing and creating our tokens. What is that? Regal Bunnicorn? Interesting. I didn't know that kind of existed. It gets its power and toughness are equal to the amount of non-land permanents he has. Alright, we'll just take that. And you know what? Just for giggles, we might actually equip this onto our token. And it's going to be the exact same size. Look at that. 4/4. It's the same. We have the same amount of non-land permanents as artifacts. That's great. That's when you know our deck is optimized. Ooh, Paw Patch. And a Sheltered by Ghost. Is he going to target my token? Oh, he should have just targeted my token. But then again, the Assimilation Aegis would have just come back into play and I could have taken something else. He might have made the smarter play by doing that. Okay, but since we have Split Up in our hand, we can feign an attack. They'll likely take it. If they block, that's okay too. They take it. Good. Sorry, buddy. We're going to destroy all your creatures. Now we get the Assimilation Aegis back. I don't want to exile anything. And we'll make another artifact creature token. What a play. And there's no point in equipping him. Hop to it, huh? Well then. We have lots of options here. But I think it's time we throw down the Repurposing Bay. Because I want our Enigma Jewel to get to work. Alternatively, we could just throw down Spring-Loaded Saw Blades or a Perilous Snare. Or even this Assimilation Aegis, but there's really no wrong play. Because we're just going to get another Simulacrum token. Alright, so for here, let's attack first. See what they do. They take the 7? Weird, I thought they would just block both. Or else I would have done this first. Okay, no worries. We'll sack the 3 mana useless Assimilation Aegis to get the white Aura Sight into play. We'll take one of their tokens. And now we have 2 mana up for Spring-Loaded Saw Blades in case of anything crazy. I mean, they have to get through our 2 remaining untapped 8/8 Simulacrum tokens. Valley Might Caller is a good card, but I don't think it's going to do anything for him right now. Sheltered by Ghost is cool, but I don't know what you're going to take. Even if you take a creature, you're still going to die next turn. Yeah, even if I don't have the mana to hardcast my Perilous Snare, I can just use Repurposing Bay to bring one in, and then target the Might Caller, and then I'll actually be able to pay for the ward cost. Yeah. Clay-Fired Bricks. Let's cast this, grab a Plains, and then we'll sack the Clay-Fired Bricks. Yes, we'll bring in our Perilous Snare as we had talked about. We'll take that and pay the ward cost. Just too much control with this artifact deck. On to the next one. On the draw with a pretty good hand. Actually, yeah, 2 plains, 1 island. Can't ask for more. The United Battlefront is really good. Nice, and we got a second one. What are we up against? Some sort of Selesnya? Warden of the Inner Sky. Huh. Counters deck. There's Bristly Bill. No idea what we're up against. I think the best we can do right now is buy some time with our split up. So I have a feeling they're going to get really big really fast. So we might be in danger by the 5th or 6th turn. Yeah, we might actually just be able to take out 2 creatures here. They're probably going to hit us for 4. Or not! Oh, wow, that is really good. They totally did not expect we would have something like this. They should have just attacked us, to be honest. Now we get to destroy their whole board. Wow, we just ruined their first 3 turns with 1 card. That was really lucky. That split up is so clutch. Actually, now we can build pretty quick. We actually got some time. I might actually play the synthesizer from our hand first. A lot of me is telling me to just use the United Battlefront because we got 2. But I think it might be a smarter idea to scry 2 first. Yeah, let's just put those 2 to the bottom because I'm looking for some 3 mana artifacts. Or do I want 3 steps ahead? Yeah, we'll just draw 3 steps ahead first. Such a good card. And that's it. They don't have any more cards in their hand. We'll take 5. And then let's play some Magic now. Give me something good, United Battlefront. That's a lot of spot removals. We'll take a Snare and an Aegis. We'll remove their board and create 2 tokens. You're gone. You're gone. They're okay to gain that life. And the opponent scoops. On to the next one. Finally going first. I hope this game goes well. I'm really digging this Azorius Artifact deck. What are we up against? Orzhov? Is it Sephiroth? I mean, I guess I could just wait until the end of their turn to use Into the Flood Maw. Or should I use Clay-Fired Bricks? We do have a land to play next. But I want to throw down a synthesizer as soon as possible. Yeah, maybe. Maybe we take one to see what else they summon on their second main phase. They'll probably summon a 2-mana spell. Dark Confidant. Okay, actually I'm glad I held up into the Flood Maw. I don't want him gaining any card advantage. So there, back into your hand you go. Alrighty. Now we use Simulacrum Synthesizer. Scry 2, maybe we'll take a land if there is any. Oh, look at that. Let's just move the land to the front. Glad we scryed. Like, maybe I actually want to use Perilous Snare to remove Dark Confidant. Let's just use Perilous Snare. Their Sage won't really do anything. We'll just take their Confidant and make a little token. Our creature token will definitely stop them from attacking as well. They had another one? Vengeful Blood Witch. Oh no. I'm so tempted to do a board wipe right here. Should I use United Battlefront? This is actually a really good chance to kind of use a board wipe. Let's just attack first to see what happens. They take it. Now I really want to use this board wipe. Should we? You know what? Let's look for a land first. Because I'm thinking we do. Yeah, let's just do it. We'll just take a bunch of damage, but at least they don't have a board. They'll have only 2 cards left in their hand. Well, 3 at the start of their next turn. But yeah, we'll just take a little bunch of damage right now. Okay. Not too bad if that's the worst. I'll probably be taking 2. I don't really think that mattered. Buffing that with a +1/+0. Both creatures were going to get tapped anyways. Okay, look at this. I think we do hit the United Battlefront. But first, let's just throw down another Clay-Fired Bricks. We'll fetch for another Plains. And then we'll use United Battlefront. Because that way, when we throw down our Repurposing Bay, we can sacrifice one of the Clay-Fired Bricks right away. And our United Battlefront does not hit much. But I'll take a Bay. It's better than nothing. And I guess we'll deal 5 damage here with the Saw Blades to the flying guy. And now we have 1/8/8. Let's swing in. I'm really surprised they actually took that. I mean, that's what the chump blockers are for, right? The Infestation Sage. You chump block and then he comes back as another 1/1, but just a token. Oh, what's that? Caustic Bronco. Oh, solid. I like the split up. I think we'll save split up to bail us out in case anything goes wrong. Until then, let's just keep building our board. Maybe we'll keep Into the Flood Maw. No, you know what? I want more artifacts. Okay, let's throw this down. Too bad we don't have another mana, or else we could fetch for something else. But that's okay. We got 2 12/12s. They're in a lot of trouble right now. They took 12? Why would they keep doing that? I mean, they have creatures. Am I missing something here? Yeah, we got max speed, so let's put a +1/+1 counter on something. Yay! We have 1/13/13. Oh, there it is, folks. Good game. This deck is way too powerful.